The advice I give to people that want to do what I'm doing is almost 180 to the advice I would give to a general population.
Yep.
Because I'm not looking to try and be as healthy as possible.
Yeah.
I want to win.
And that's a big, that's a big fucking statement, is that to be the best at a sport, it's not generally healthy.
No, what I do is unhealthy.
Yeah.
It's and it's something you have to accept. Like, you have to accept the fact that, say, like something like with my elbow, or anything in that regard, or like when someone goes to me, aren't you worried when you're 50 you're going to be having issues or joint pain? And I go, yeah, I don't care. I will trade that any day of the week for being great at something.
Because what you're doing is worth that cost.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So for me, it becomes this. If you want to do what I'm doing, if you want to be an athlete and compete, and not locally doing comps and stuff, or doing a comp for the experience, I'm talking about you want to chase a goal and a dream to be the best.
Yeah.
Every fucking second of what you do better be prioritized around, is this going to help me?
Yeah.
And so when you get people that, when they go like, when people tell me you're different or it works better for you and that sort of thing, I'll start listing all the shit that I do that they can't be fucked doing because it's inconvenient. Yeah. For an example, going in, so I'll go in and I'll coach at 5 a.m. and a 6 a.m.
Yep.
Sometimes I'll do a PT at 7. And then from 8 till 9 a.m., I'll do an hour of mobility exercises to try and rebuild all of the shit that I put my body through. The damage that
you've done, yeah. Necessary damage.
I got to do mobility to make sure my hips stay open, to make sure my ankle range of motion is good, to make sure my shoulders stay healthy. I'm building. There's a lot of muscle groups in CrossFit that don't really get any sort of tender love and care that you've got to then try and correct.
Yeah, I agree.
And then when people go, oh, you're just good at this, and I can't handle the volume you're doing. Your problem isn't overtraining. Your problem is under recovering.
Yeah.
And the answer to recovery is not sit on a couch and rest and have a day off.
No.
That's not, your hips will never open back up and give you a better squat if you're sitting on the couch relaxing.
The new norm is movement is life. Movement is blood flow, is nutrients, is recovery. So when the same injury, well, even with my knee injury, the first time I was in a splint after my surgery and I was told don't move for 6 weeks. So you can imagine in 6 weeks' time being in a straight-legged splint, how stiff and like the mobility's gone in the knee, and now half the rehab is getting my just movement back, let alone strength.
Yeah.
Now, the last one, I got woken up in the bed and the lady goes, come on, let's go, we'll go for a walk. And I'm like, whoa, sorry, no, what? Like, I'm still high on the morphine, give me a sec. And she's like, no, come on, jump up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck? But it's clearly worked. They want you moving, you know, and it's the difference between sitting on the couch. By the time 6 weeks had rolled around, I was doing well and truly into doing bike sprints and backward sled walks and stuff. Light and easy to start with, but big difference to not even have taken a splint off yet. Recovery is not, and rest is not just sitting still.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what are some things you do like then? So were you talking about hours you have to put into recovery or under recover? Like, what do you do for recovery? Give us a typical day or a week, a look at what recovery looks like.
So two of the biggest ones is food and then sleep.
Okay.
If I'm doing a fuck ton of training, I better be sleeping pretty good and I better be eating pretty good.
Yeah. And
it's very visible when I don't do those things.
It appears from an outsider's perspective that almost every hour of your day is planned.
So like an example for a day will be like, so like the way I start my week on a Monday, I'll coach a 5 and 6. And then I will try and get some training in, whether that be corrective exercises or whether that be like a long conditioning piece, some sort of aerobic piece. Then I'll go to the cafe, I'll work until 2:30 when we finish locking up, and then I'll go straight back to the gym. I'll train from 2:30 to 4:30.
And so obviously, so it seems like similar stuff each day on repeat clockwork with different things slotted in. It might be a training session, might be substituted for an hour of recovery. Or so do you have structured set recovery sessions where you go, like you might have, you know what your exercise program is going to be today. Do you do that for recovery, or is it just whatever you feel needs attention, gets attention for that hour?
So there's a general I guess, process I follow to try and open everything up. In those hour mobilities that I'm talking about, there's a pretty set routine that I have that I like, and I'll just work top down. But if there's days where the day before, if I've done something that's like a really heavy deadlift session or a really heavy squat session or something like that, I might take away some of the upper body movements and put a bit of extra time into the lower body just because I know I need to move it again.
Yeah.
When it comes to the recovery stuff, apart from the food and the sleep, I've tried a bunch of different recovery things. So I've got like the scrapers, power dots, compression boots, fucking massage guns, everything. And the annoying thing about all of them is the best thing that has helped me recover for injury and for post-session recovery is always just movement of my own body.
Yeah.
Which is slightly frustrating when you think of the
money
hundreds
that
of
gets
dollars
spent.
that I've spent trying to find something to fix me.
I like what you did there. The first two things you mentioned are free and the most effective things that you can possibly do, and probably the most undersold because they are free. They don't make any company money. You getting a better sleep doesn't make X company any money.
No.
You eating good food, that's not something that can be marketed. So it's very, very undersold, and it's a really good reflection on you that those are the two first up things you do. Because everybody wants to look for not the cheap, but the quick way. Obviously I need that little fucking electrical pulse machine. That'll recover me. Obviously I need a $2,000 pair of compression boots. That'll recover me.
That's literally just me looking for any little 1% advantage I can get.
Yeah. But those foundations need to be built first. Sleep.
It is a factor of if it doesn't make me worse, if I don't feel a negative effect, then why not do it?
Could it be helping you that little bit more?
What if?
Sure.
Yeah.
But it's no point sleeping 5 hours a night and then spending 2 hours on a compression boots. Do you find that doing those things properly gives you more confidence going into a session?
Absolutely.
So I find, like, if I know I've got a heavy lift coming up tomorrow, but I sleep like shit tonight and I don't get I don't get my proper amount or quality of nutrition in, when that session comes around, even if I'm physically capable of performing it correctly, I'm doubting myself. I'm already like, I didn't sleep good, or I didn't have this, I didn't eat that, I'm probably going to be weak. So already you're not only battling the session, you're battling your negative mental thoughts as well. The difference is when I've eaten right, slept well, and everything's lined up, and I've had a good meal a couple hours before the gym, I'm like, it feels like bring on anything. Put whatever you like on the bar. It doesn't matter. Stan Efferding says you're stepping over $100 bills to pick up nickels. Yeah. That's a great saying because and people want to focus on that because it's marketed well and it's the lazy way. We all want the lazy way. Yeah. It's easy to sit there and do a massage gun.
Yeah.
More than it is to prepare yourself with proper nutrition and eat your proper food that you're meant to be eating.
And it will, like say with a massage gun, it will give you immediate release. Relief, sorry, I should say.
Yeah. Well, there's a pretty funky ass guns
release,
out there,
baby. I treat it as I love training. Like, I'll be able to go in and train every day, but I have to earn the right to be allowed to train.
Yeah.
So the way I earn the right to train is I have to sleep, eat, and recover properly.
Sure.
Now I'm allowed to train.